5:45. Good morning. Welcome to Millionaire Mindset Book Club. I just finished my workout. My timing was a little off, so pardon me if I'm still a little out of breath. Welcome back. Millionaire Mindset Book Club 2023, right? So 103 days left. 103 days left in 2023. How are you going to finish up the year? How are you going to start 2024 strong? We are reading the book Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. Again, Millionaire Mindset Book Club, 15 minutes, Monday through 15 minutes in the morning, Monday through Thursday. Great way to start your day. And we typically cover a chapter, right? And so if we have other people on at 5:45, I'm happy to discuss anything that you want to discuss about the chapter. Otherwise, I give you my highlights, right? I give you the things that I feel stood out to me. I mean, not necessarily, not saying this is more important than anything else in the chapter. I'm saying these are the things that stood out to me when I read through it. These are the things that I underlined, right? So chapter 1 was about the commodity of kings. Remember, the commodity of kings was power, right? And power through knowledge, and power through and sharing that power with others, right? Chapter 2 is entitled The Difference That Makes the Difference. And anytime you can compare people, you can compare people that had the exact same circumstances growing up, and then at some point in their lives, their circumstances changed. One maybe had great luck, and the other not so much. Maybe somebody got in an accident. Maybe somebody had life experiences or life circumstances that got them, and then it turns out that they ended up being more successful than the person who everything went well for. People who succeed, this is on page 25, people who succeed do not have fewer problems than people who fail, right? Things happen to everybody. I mean, things happen to people. And so sometimes we can do everything right and things still don't turn out right. Right? We can do everything right and things still don't go our way, right? That doesn't mean give up, right? It doesn't mean give up. Tony Robbins says, people who succeed do not have fewer problems than people who fail. The only people without problems are the ones that are in the cemeteries, right? It is not what happens to us that separates failures from successes. It is how we perceive it and what we do about it. What we do about what happens that makes all the difference, right? That makes all the difference. I guess every once in a while I'll throw in a little bit of the Bible, right? And Paul says that God does. This is a super paraphrase. That whatever happens in your life, God can make that work for his good, right? Whatever happens in your life, he can make it work for his good. So if something happens to you, how do you handle it, right? That's the issue. Tony Robbins is a big fan of NLP, right? Neuro-linguistic programming, right? And it is about programming your brain and using language to program your brain and your nervous system, right? And so he talks about NLP a lot, and he said one of the presuppositions of NLP is that we all share the same neurology, right? We all have nerves and nerve impulses, and that's what drives our muscles and our actions. And he said, so if anybody can do something, then you can also, if you run your nervous system in exactly the same way that they do. This process of discovering exactly and specifically what people to do to produce a specific result is called modeling, right? Modeling. If it is possible for other people in the world to do it, it is possible for you, right? It's not a matter of whether you can produce the result another person produces. It's a matter of strategy, right? How does that person produce the results? If one person is a terrific speller, there's a way to model him so that you can be a a terrific speller as well, right? If you know somebody that communicates perfectly with their child, you can do the same thing. If somebody's able to get up quickly in the morning, you can do the same thing. A lot of times, let's just say, for example, that I learned how to do something. I spent years learning how to do something through trial and error, right? To find this specific way to do something, to use my body, to use my mind, to produce a specific result. You could step in and model in a matter of moments the things that I'm doing and be able to save yourself years, right? And so we talk about in business, right? R&D, right? So I can spend a lot of time doing research and development. You can spend time doing rip off and deploy, right? If I'm doing something that is success that is making me successful, you can do the exact same thing and save, years of trial and error, right? Maybe not overnight, but quickly, right? Or way faster than I was able to do it, right? It's called modeling, right? Tony Robbins says as he read more and more books about neuro-linguistic programming, he was amazed that he found little or nothing written about the process of modeling. And he says that modeling is the pathway to excellence. It means if I see anyone in this world producing a result that I desire, I can produce the same results if I'm willing to pay the price of time and effort, right? If you want to achieve success, all you need to do is find a way to model those people that have already succeeded, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is go out there and do the same thing they were doing, right? Find the actions they took. How did they use their brain? How did they use their body to produce the results that you want to duplicate, right? If you want to be a better friend, a richer person, a better parent, a better athlete, a more successful business person, all you have to do is find models of excellence. And a lot of times these models of excellence, the movers and shakers of the world, right? People that have mastered the art of learning everything that they can about something by following other people's experience rather than their own. They know how to save the one commodity that none of us ever get enough of, and that is time, right? Time moves on no matter what. You cannot stop it. You can't slow it down, right? You can use it or you can waste it, right? And the thing about it is that most of the people that are successful in business and in life, guess what they've done? They've written a book, right? They've written a book and they've given you, they say, here it is, right? Here's what I did, right? You can teach a dog patterns, right? That will improve its behavior. And you can do the exact same thing with people, right? But in the book, Tony Robbins says he wants you to learn a process, a framework, a discipline that will allow you to duplicate excellence wherever you find it, right? And those are some of the patterns from NLP, some of the stuff that he's going to share with us here in the book, right? NLP, a lot of the work with NLP was done by a couple of scientists, guys named Bandler and Grinder, and I may be mispronouncing their names, but they said that there are three fundamental ingredients that have to be duplicated in order to reproduce any form of human excellence. And he says, picture them as three doors, right? Three doors that are leading up to a spectacular banquet hall. The first door represents your belief system, represents a person's belief system. What you believe, what you think is possible, what you think is impossible, to a great extent determines what you can and cannot do, right? Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Right? It is, to a certain extent, it's true for when you don't believe that you can do something, you're sending your nervous system messages that limit or eliminate your ability to produce a result, right? And so, doorway number one, your belief system. Do you believe that you can do it? right? You can model somebody else's belief system, right? You can model somebody else's belief system. So you know what? If they can do it, I can do it, right? We're going to talk about belief systems. We'll talk about belief systems more in chapter 4. The second door that has to be opened is your mental syntax, right? Your syntax is the way that you organize your thoughts. Syntax is like a code. It's like a computer code. There are 7 digits in a phone number, right? Not anymore 10 digits, right? We need 10 digits in a phone number, but you have to dial them in a specific order in order to connect with the person that you want to connect with, right? And so the same is true in reaching the part of your brain and the nervous system that can most effectively help you get the outcome that you desire, right? And the same is true in communication. A lot of times people don't communicate well with each other because people are using different codes, right? Different codes, different mental syntaxes, right? Syntax, we'll talk about syntax in chapter 7. And then the third door that you have to open is your physiology, right? Your mind and your body are totally linked. The way you use your physiology, the way you breathe, the way you hold your body, the way your posture and your facial expressions, the nature and the quality of your movements actually determines what state you're in, right? When I was an Army recruiter, one of the things we had to do if we were on the phone, guess what? We weren't allowed to sit down, right? When we were on the phone, we had to stand up, right? Because it changes the way you communicate, right? It changes the way that you connect with other people. You had a mirror there, right? And so when you were on the phone, you had to look in the mirror and you had to smile, because when you smile, you speak differently than if you're, hunched over. And so the way you hold your body, your posture, your facial expressions, the nature and the quality of your movements all actually determine the state that you're in. And the state that you're in will determine the range and the quality of the behaviors that you're able to produce, right? Think about it. We are modeling all the time. When you're a child, right? Children, our grandson, I think it was our grandson, used to watch you. If you were holding him and you were talking, he would just stare at your mouth, right? When he was first learning how to talk, he would just stare at your mouth, right? And then he would do his mouth the same way, right? Learn how to talk. A simple modeling example from the business world. He says one way a lot of people make money in this world is through what he calls a lag, right? If somebody sets up a successful business selling chocolate chip cookies at the mall in Detroit, chances are the same thing will work at a mall in Dallas, right? What do they call them? Franchises, right? McDonald's do the same thing. People expect the same thing. So anyway, a lot of people have to do in business to succeed in business is find something that works one place and do it somewhere else, right? All you have to do is take up a proven system and duplicate it, and maybe even better, improve upon it. And people that do that are virtually guaranteed success, right? So understand there's always going to be a place, right? Always going to be a place where something doesn't work, right? For example, let's just say that in XYZ country, they don't eat cookies, right? They don't eat cookies. They don't eat sweets, right? You think about some things that will work one place won't necessarily work everywhere, right? But NLP is a tool, right? This modeling, this neuro-linguistic programming is a tool. It's just that. It's a tool that you can use to develop your own approaches, your own strategies, your own insights. There's no one strategy that's going to work everywhere all the time, right? Think about most people when they model, it is an utterly haphazard, unfocused level. They pick up bits and pieces, right? Pick up bits and pieces from this person and that person, and then totally miss something much more important from somebody else. We model something good here, something bad over here. We attempt to model somebody that we respect, but we really find out we don't know how they do what it is they do, right? And so Tony Robbins says, think of this book as a guidebook for conscious modeling with greater precision, a chance for you to become conscious of something that you've been doing your whole life, right? His challenge is start thinking like a modeler, continually being aware of the patterns and the types of actions that produce outstanding results. If somebody is able to do something outstanding, the immediate question that should pop into your mind is, how'd they do it? How did they create that result? Right? So continue to look for excellence, for the magic in everything you see, and learn how it's produced so that you can create the same kinds of results wherever you desire, right? The real estate business, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, guys. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. All you got to do is find something that works and do that, right? That is such a simple thing, right? The problem is in the consistency, and am I doing it the same way that they were doing it? So anyway, 601, 15 minutes, right? Chapter 2, Unlimited Power with Tony Robbins. I will have this video posted to my YouTube channel a little bit later. Right? It won't take very long. Anyway, you can come back and watch it again if you want to watch it again. I encourage you, if you haven't gotten the book yet, go ahead and get it. Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. Get it on Kindle, get it on audiobook, get a good old hard copy, and join us. Right? Join us here. I'd love to have your input, your discussion points. Right? If you got a comment you want to make on the Facebook page, the Millionaire Mindset Real Estate, or the Millionaire Mindset Book Club group, please do that. And we'll see you tomorrow morning, 5:45, Millionaire Mindset Book Club. Thanks. Bye.